Hi, Elle Ingalls here at elleingles.com, pressure-free.com. And tonight the topic of my Living Pressure Free with Elle is thinking about what we do consistently. So if you haven't read Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect, it's a book that I highly recommend. It's been out for quite a few years now. I can't remember when he published it. But Darren Hardy is the editor of Success Magazine, and The Compound Effect is just one of his books. There's a lot of insight in there, and tonight I really want to focus on consistency. Like, what do you do consistently? And I see my friend Dale here. Dale does a lot of beautiful things consistently. So we all do something consistently. It might be moving us in a positive direction. It might be moving us in a negative direction. And so oftentimes with my clients, I'm talking about changing the trajectory. So for example, if your health is suffering and you're tipping down this way, maybe you've had something happen, maybe you've contracted a chronic disease, you're going this way. So how can we start to turn the trajectory this way? So thinking about the compound effect and what you do consistently can make a huge difference in the short term and the long term. So I want you to think for a moment of something you do on a very consistent basis. So what do you do consistently? What is something that you do consistently, maybe every single day? So if you looked at the last 365 days for me, you pretty much saw me go for a walk probably all but 10 of those days. I'm very consistent about going for a walk. I love to be outside. I love to be in nature. So you'll pretty much see me do that. If you were spying on me and had a camera on me, you'd also see that I pretty much make the same basic breakfast every single morning. There are reasons for that. There are short-term and long-term effects to that breakfast. So that's something that I do very consistently. There are negative things that I do that I'm starting to peel away and decide to not do for 2020. And that's usually what resolutions are about. Not so much what we're going to do, but also what are we not going to do. So if you want to just take a moment and say, what do you do consistently? And what are the short-term results of that thing that you're doing consistently? And then what are the long-term results of the thing you're doing consistently? So for example, I'm trying to talk weight. A lot of people this time of year are thinking, I want to lose a few pounds. I just want to be healthier. And so maybe the one thing that can make a big difference for you in the short term, but also more importantly in the long term, is portion size. So maybe you're just going to just a little bit less than you're used to eating. Well, what's the compound effect of eating just a little bit less over a period of days, weeks, months? Where are you going to be 6 months from now if you've just eaten just a little bit less? Probably in a lot better space than you were. So one of the beautiful things I love about the idea of the compound effect is that you're not trying to take these really huge chunks. You're not taking on these just huge goals that are pretty much impossible, or you do it for a little while and then you slip off. But the compound effect is just making little tiny changes that result in a change 6 months or 12 months down the line. And that's what I'm always focusing my clients on when it comes to making changes and using pressure free. So one of the first goals that I write every night is stay up pressure free in my genius zone all day. I'm extremely consistent about using the pressure free method each and every day, all day long. It is a lifestyle because I know that if I don't trigger fight or flight, it's going to be a fabulous day. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to have anxiety, depression. I'm not going to be going into dark places. I'm going to be very even keeled. I'm going to be able to handle the unexpected because I'm going to have my rational brain working for me. I'm not going to be building chronic diseases that I used to suffer from in the past. They're just not going to come back. So there's a lot of really cool long-term results and short-term results from using the method. So that's something you will see me do consistently, and my clients too. It's and we fall off the wagon. We'll have a day when we do trigger. We're human and it happens, but it's so cool to go day after day after day and no longer have to worry about being so stressed out. It just doesn't happen. So what are you doing consistently? And read The Compound Effect if you haven't yet. What are the short-term results of what you do consistently and the long-term results? And are they moving you in a direction that you want? Or are they taking you in a direction that you don't want to go? So if they're going this way, taking you in a direction you don't want to go, how can you make a change? If you start working on your New Year's resolutions with that in mind, like what is the long-term effect of some of the things you do on a consistent basis, and how might you change those up, you're going to see some real amazing results in 2020. But I see so many people start out great and then lose it because they're taking really, they're expecting so much so fast. So come into 2020 with the long-term effect in mind and the compound effect, and see if that's helpful for you. I hope it's helpful. I love that book, Compound Effect, Darren Hardy. Highly recommend it. And just this idea of what you want to be consistent with in your life in 2020 and beyond. Have a great and beautiful pressure-free night.